Not a bad birthday present, Dave.
Yeah, a win, start the season well. Very, very good from us. I think we always set out, to come out and try and be positive with the bat. I think the way forward is exactly how we always try and set the tone from the top, and obviously Maxi coming in and doing what he does. For once, the plan actually came off. Obviously, starting well, the Maxi coming in to do what he does, and yeah, someone batting through. So that was all in all great batting performance, and obviously the bowlers finished it off there.
How were the emotions out there for you?
Emotions were great. Another year older, another game for Australia, and coming out here in front of an Adelaide crowd. There's no better place to play. We've always got a fantastic wicket. The curators are absolutely fantastic here, and it's a batting paradise. I love it out here.
What's it mean personally, though, to get your first T20 international time?
Yeah, you don't even actually realise until you get it. That it wasn't even in my mind, and you actually forget that you don't have one. Maxi reminded me, saying welcome to the club, which is quite funny. But yeah, look, it's just one of those things, just to contribute and come out and play your free-flowing game from the start. Obviously, the first couple of balls were a little bit here and there. You don't get to face too many deliveries in a row back to back when someone's going off. So for me, it's about keeping a calm head and making sure that I bite my time a little bit and try and pick the gaps as much as I can and run hard.
Have you learned a fair bit playing a bit of IPL cricket? I mean, I guess since sort of you took a bit of time off, but did you learn a lot from the stint at Sunrisers and then sort of taking something into T20 tonight?
Yeah, it's always difficult to sort of, you've got to change your mindset when you're in India, because the wickets aren't as true. In Hyderabad, it's a very, very good batting surface, and then some games you might get some that hold up a little bit due, and I think the conditions of night time play a big difference. But as a batter, I think it's pretty simple. You have to have in the back of your mind a plan when you're going out there, and for me, it's about targeting straight at the side screen. Not trying to play too many cross bat shots, and being positive running between wickets. I think that's the element, I think, to our game here in Australia. If you want to win the World Cup next year, you're gonna have to run real hard between wickets, and got big boundaries here. It's not like in the IPL where if you don't want to run, you can stand there and deliver. But in my game, I have a strong emphasis on running between wickets and rotating strike. I think that's very, very important.
How much work have you done on your fitness in the last 12, 18 months?
Look, I'm constantly in the gym. I run a lot. I'm outdoors all the time. I've obviously got a strong-willed, minded wife who gets me out and about, doesn't let me sit down. So I'm fortunate enough to do that. But if I have my time off, I don't relax. I go to the gym, and I just love running and doing something. I can't sit still.
You've played with a few T20 coaches. Has Justin been anything different? That's probably the first time you played with him in that role as a T20 man.
Yeah, look, I think he keeps it pretty simple. I think when you have your meetings, it's very structured, and you always have a game plan that you try and stick to, plan A, and then there's always a plan B if you need it. But he's always, calm and relaxing around the guys. Probably a little less, stressed here with the 2020s, but I think that comes with obviously, the Test match stuff being over in England, and you see different sides of people, and he's a great character, and it's great that he can manage that.
Dave, what was it like to get, I guess, the adulation of the Adelaide Oval crowd here, where you hadn't had that from an Australian crowd, like actually gone out and batted and made runs in front of one for about 18 months?
Yeah, it's always fantastic to get that. You sort of sit back and watch on TV, when you watch highlights of other people's packages and stuff, and you forget how much it actually drives you when you're out there. And we absolutely love the people support. We love the Australian crowd coming out and supporting us, and we always try and put on a show for them. But I think they don't realise how much of an impact it has for us players when we're out there. I know when I was supporting the Roosters in the grand final this year, when you got that support behind the team, or when you're supporting someone else, it's a massive boost in confidence for us, and I know for the other people that are out there playing.
David, you spoke about batting through the innings. Is it a conscious effort, like even in terms of the way you and Aaron Finch go about the looks like even during the World Cup, you were kind of playing second fiddle to him early on and then taking your time. Kind of we saw that today as well. Is it a conscious effort this year?
It's not a conscious effort. It's the way of what I was just trying to explain before. Like, you know, if he gets 3 or 4 away and then I've got to face one ball at the other end and I've only faced a couple of balls, it's very hard to get rhythm. But if I get the ball there, that's, you know, I can put away, I can do that. But you've obviously got to play that situation. If he's hit 2 or 3 boundaries, he gets off strike, you've already won the over. So there's no need for me to go hammer and tong. I can just play the way I do, get him on strike, and that's how it sort of pans out. And it always pans out like that because he goes very hard and he clears the fence a bit more than what I do. But yeah, that's the natural game plan. You know, if I get out, he bats deep. If he gets out, I try and bat deep, and that's how, you know, top order always thinks.
And just the 6 that you hit over mid wicket of the seamer, quite an extraordinary shot, really. Like, was it something that just happened, or is?
No, it's something that I play quite often, especially in India, given the boundaries are quite smaller there on some sides. And it's something that you've got to always have in the back of your mind because a lot of bowlers now bowl into left-handers' hips, for example. You know, so you're going to get a lot of that in the game. So, you know, you just practice it. And I think one thing from a batter's point of view, you've got to commit to your shot. And, you know, if you can commit to your shot, the natural timing will come into it.
What was your mindset like there in the last over of Yuri's century site?
Bat on ball, and I was thinking obscure field. So for me, you know what you're going to get. It's going to be wide, and pretty much, you know, I don't lap or anything like that. So if that ever comes into my mind, you know, I've got to try and get that out of my head. It was in my mind, but you got to try and pick the gaps. You know, you got to try and. I think in Australia, with those fields that get set, you know, you've only got to hit the gap hard, and it can beat the fielder, and you can run too. So you're just thinking in the back of your mind when you start the over, what do we need? Obviously, we had plenty on the board. So just trying to hit gaps.
And Steve, not coming in at all, but actually moving to 3. What was the mindset around that, do you know?
The fixer. If everything goes wrong, then he comes in. So, look, you know, everyone's got their roles, and he knows his role very well. And a bit similar to Rudy in the one days for England. You know, you've always got to have someone to steer the ship, and you know, if you're out there and we're playing the way that we are and Maxie comes in and plays the way that he does, all in all, in a nutshell, we're going to do very well if we keep playing games like that.
So just clarifying, Steve is the fixer?
I call him the fixer. Yeah, he just can sit there and do what he wants.
Can I just ask about, I mean, Aaron's spoken in the last couple of days about this is the start of the World Cup campaign, the 21 games and that. So how important now going to, I guess, Brisbane and Melbourne and the Pakistan series to really, you know, keep the foot on the throat now that the London's a bit down after that result?
Yeah, look, it's massive for us. We know we've got a lot of games leading into this World Cup. I think the thing we can take out of it is making sure that we stick to our game plans, and we're going to be playing at all these venues. So, you know, you've got to, with a bat, you know, you've got to work out where you're going to, you know, hit your balls, your boundaries, you know, what gaps you're going to hit, what bowlers you're going to take on in the first 6. These are things that you've got to think about when you're out there, and there's a lot to learn in this game, and you're still learning every game that you play leading into this World Cup. Same with the bowlers, with how they structure. I know a lot of teams use that boundary, so you're going to get a lot of off pace into the wicket, a lot of short balls into the wicket. So it's about us as batters trying to work off and learn off our bowlers as well, how they're trying to bowl to oppositions, because we're going to get that as well. So it's all about learning as well with this lead up into the World Cup and making sure we're playing the right brand that we want to play. I think out there you saw it firsthand. If you're none for 60 and you get off to a good start, you can post a big total without actually taking too many risks. I think you saw Maxie there, the ease that he came in and used the pace. They're going to be very good wickets. So as batters, you don't need to overhit the ball here in Australia. As I said before, it's about running and picking gaps. And then the clinical performance by the bowlers, they're going to get those nice lengths are going to come through. So, you know, you're going to have to use those side wickets, still bowl the top of off. Doesn't really change here in Australia.